Hi there. Welcome to Just the Dis. We talk about Blu-rays here. My name is Brian, and this isn't going to be exactly like my last Black Friday Vinegar Syndrome advice. Like, I didn't draw up my little diagram yet. I'll probably do that for the actual sale in May. But this is more for the flash pre-order, just advice that you've probably already figured out yourself, but in case you haven't been prowling around the website, you haven't been reading the newsletter. I mean, the basics are, we know that the flash pre-order happens the 26th through the 28th, and they will announce their second VSU release. Their first I'm going to talk about in a second, along with their May lineup, and not the secret titles. Those won't be revealed till later. But it includes the worldwide disc debut of an early 80s midnight movie masterpiece, our initial foray into a whole new area of genre cinema, and the first installment in a director-focused multi-volume collection. But it's supposedly going to be, I think, 10 titles. Did I say this already? Spread over 10 different movies spread over 5 different releases. So that'll be the focus of this flash pre-order, is people deciding, do they want to get the bundle ahead of time, or do they want to wait until the actual sale in May and do it then? I personally try to tuck away a little bit of money to get the bundle, because I'll be honest, the fear tactics work on me. You know, I do worry about missing out on things, and that's definitely a technique that is real in terms of, you know, stuff sells out. And that's actually something else I'm going to talk to you about here. So, you know, that said, if you are inclined and interested in these new titles, obviously we've got to wait and see. There may be some clues that have dropped since I record this video, which is, you know, maybe about a week before the actual pre-order flash goes up. But that said, I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited to know what they will reveal, and I'm planning on probably getting the bundle if I can. But that said, some other things to think about. There are some titles, and they make note of this in the newsletter, that you may want to pick up if you're buying stuff on that day. And the big one, of course, is their first VSU title, Beastmaster, which is an incredible release. And they have said in their newsletter the original pressing was 10,000 units and is now just about to drop below 1,000 units. And they will not, as I understand it, I don't think they're going to reprint this. And you definitely won't get it in this amazing box and slip, and you know what I mean? Like, this is just an incredible, one of the great packages of last year. I just love their patented magnetic. Anyway, really great release, looks great, and I'm so excited about the next VSU title. I have no clue what it could be, and I kind of like the idea of not knowing that. But anyway, if you're interested in Beastmaster, you might want to just take a look at the numbers on the website. 1,000 units will give you probably enough time on the first day to snag it if you want. I don't know that it'll sell out on that first day, but I have a feeling it'll probably sell out between the 26th and the 28th. That's just a guess. But you can do your own figuring. Go to the website on the 26th, look at those units at the bottom, and once it gets below 1,000 units, you can see exactly how many they have in stock, and then you can kind of gauge whether or not you have to pick it up. So that's what I would always recommend. If you're not already doing that, I know a lot of you are, go to the website and notice the number of stock remaining for each title. Most of them will say over 1,000, some will say less. And when it says less, that is usually an indication that that's all they have, as I understand it. So a few things to know. Fade to Black, okay? This slipcover variant already sold out, so you can't get this anymore. The slipcover that looks like that, you can still get, but I want to say there is a limited number, definitely less than 1,000 units left. And this is another great release. If you haven't picked this up, this was a miracle release. I'm so glad they pulled it off and brought it out on Blu-ray in a great presentation. But these slips are really nice. If you're into that, this cover will be gone, I think, probably also after this sale. I'm just speculating here, so don't quote me. Again, you can look at the numbers yourself and see what you think. Spookies. This slipcover is long gone, but the discs themselves, I think they still have a few copies left. This one I think will sell out quick. I want to say this is low numbers, and I can't remember the exact ones. But if you don't have Spookies and you want it, consider snagging it then. There might be some copies on Amazon. You might check that too. But VSA, Martial Law 1 and 2. This is below... It's right about 300 copies at the time of this recording. So I'm pretty sure this is going to sell out, because it won't take much to knock those 300 out. There's going to be a lot of traffic on the website the 26th through the 28th, and a lot of people looking at those numbers because they've sort of figured out that's what they should be doing. And so I think this one is probably going to go. So if you have any interest in it, grab Martial Law 1 and 2. Okay. While we're on the topic, the other VSUs, the recent ones, are the House of Usher and Spellcaster. And these are both, at the time of this recording, still saying 1,000 units, but definitely keep an eye on them. See where they're at. These could last until the actual sale, but they will, in my mind, definitely not make it through May. They'll be gone if you wait. So keep an eye, because these VSA titles do seem to be a hot commodity, and they're really nice releases. So keep those in mind. They're not dangerously low, but one outside Vinegar Syndrome title I'm going to call out is I Start Counting from Fun City Editions. This is in the 600 to 700 range in terms of this nice slip cover. And once it is gone, it is gone. And I do really like this release a lot. I've talked about this on the channel. I think if you're interested in this, you should pick it up probably this weekend. But again, keep an eye on those numbers, see what you think. And also, this is not in danger of selling out just yet, but the newest Fun City release, Jeremy, is one of my favorite love stories in the 1970s. Just a fantastic movie. And I was honored to speak to Quentin Tarantino on the Pure Cinema podcast a few weeks back. And this was one that he had finally watched and talked about and loved. And I think him talking about it on the show has definitely affected some people and got some people to check this movie out. And it is just wonderful. It's a really powerful movie and well acted. And you have Robbie Benson and Glynis O'Connor starring in it. I love this slipcover, by the way. And it's got a really great interview with Robbie Benson and Glynis O'Connor that is sort of intercut. It's the two of them almost conversing in a way, and it's so moving. They just talk about falling in love, and they really were in love around the time they made this movie. They started to date, and they just have a lot of really nice things to say about each other and the experience, and they're just wonderful people. And so there's some really good stuff. There's also a nice commentary on here from the late the late Mike McPadden and also Kat Ellinger, and that's a really nice track as well. So good extras. If you're interested in Fun City Editions, they are one of my favorite labels out there, and these two are worth getting. Also, just as an aside, I noticed something about, this is a new release from the Utopia sub-label, and I haven't had a chance to watch this one yet, but I did notice that I think it's already getting close to selling out. Again, keep an eye on the numbers. Check that out in terms of this. This might be something you want to pick up, as it might be going out of, it might be selling out. Now, I've got a few more. These are older titles, so I don't know. Well, actually, I've got 3 that are newer, but then I'll touch on the older ones. These are the movies from Ruben Galindo Jr., the trilogy of films that they put out. So you have Cemetery of Terror, you have Grave Robbers, and you have Don't Panic. I think they're all below 1,000. I know that these two are definitely below 1,000. So again, no need to panic, but if you're interested in those, and I do think it's a really nice trilogy to have, keep an eye on them. Definitely keep an eye on them. And then these other 4 are just some that I like, but they are older titles. I think they're getting lower. I want to say some of these are below 500, and so they could sell out. But again, older titles, so I don't know. Pandemonium, spoofy comedy. I call it the Rock and Roll High School of slasher movies. Very silly, with a really great cast, including Carol Kane and Judge Reinhold and Tom Smothers and others. And if you like spoofy slashers, not everybody's cup of tea. I like them. This one's pretty fun. So that to consider. Another one, Wacko, Graydon Clark, Gem, with a great performance by Joan Baker, and you get an early performance from Andrew Dice Clay, also George Kennedy and Stella Stevens. Again, this is a very goofy slasher spoof. I like these. These 2 are running lower. Another one that's sort of a spoofy one, There's Nothing Out There. This is just a really fun horror comedy. Like, it's a spoof and it's self-aware, in a similar way to Scream, well before Scream. But this is a really nice disc, and it includes some shorts. I mean, there's just tons of stuff here. There's a ton of shorts, and there's a frog monster thing that looks like that. And anyway, I'm not going to go too deep on this. If you are interested, you know what this movie is, and you may want to pick it up. And then last but not least, the slipcover edition of Candy Snatchers, I think, has sold out. But the regular edition is getting low as well. So, things to think about. Food for thought. If any of these titles I've talked about are potentials for you, definitely have a look on the 26th. Even if you're not going to buy the bundle, you are probably going to go there and see what the announcements are at the very least. And I would say, just poke around on the site and see how everything's doing in terms of how much they have left, and kind of make your decision based on that. But Beastmaster, definitely probably should get it. So anyway, that's all I got for this little bit of advice, but I will definitely do a larger recommendations video as we get closer to the actual sale in May. But hopefully this is helpful, and give a thumbs up and a subscribe if this is the kind of content you want me to keep doing. I'd love to know. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.